I've tried to read this message from higher beings multiple times, and every time I do, I'm just gonna read it. I'm just gonna read it. This is like the 8th time trying to record this video, and I'm just gonna read it from beginning to end. I am not going to add anything. I am not straight from Sarael. Let me explain to you, darling. We whom you call angels are not actually that. And you also have to understand the differences in species of the physical vessels of consciousness. Imagine, if you will, that ascending or evolving your soul is a video game. You have various levels of easy and cheats. That is, until you choose survivor mode. Earth is like you playing Fallout 4 on hardcore survival mode, and if you trip, you could die. Because of the difficulty of gameplay on Earth, your consciousness goes through rapid, powerful level ups. By only a quarter of the way through, you're becoming way OP for life. You are Kirito, and Earth is Aincrad. Now that we understand that, let's go back to the beginning. You see the problem of Earth. You see, the people of Earth were very charming and adorable. Like tiny little kittens. Do you have a problem with cats, Luca? Me. Nada. Please continue. Note to self and everyone else, do not mention kitten obsession. Anyways, you were tiny kittens, and well, you're so adorable. I need to squish you immediately. Your younglings are even more so. And then I got like this mental sigh. They did not trick us out of our knowledge, nor did they seduce us watchers. They charmed us with their thirst for knowledge, their hunger for learning how things work. Our interference led to the mass corruption of the human heart and sped up the evolutionary timeline too fast. We screwed up. I went to apologize, and thankfully I was granted permission, for my lord could feel my sincerity. Anyways, my job is here to... I'm here to remind the people of their spiritual essence, their hearts, not just remembering, but actively choosing the frequency of love over any other one. You see, once you activate yourself on the love frequency, then true ascension begins. Okay, I'm done. This was fun, but things got serious. TTFN. For those of you who don't know, Sarael seems to be a higher being that has made themselves known in my life. Sarael has basically taken over most of these communications with higher being and automatic writing processes that have been happening. And I just like I've gotten some really intense messages recently. Like really intense messages recently. I've Googled Sarael. Sarael seems to have been one of the fallen angels in the history of Christianity. Sarael was Watcher. Except they were forgiven. Sarael very much is like, hey, I was forgiven. The difference between my apology and the other apologies written in the Book of Enoch, Sarael says, one, I apologize before everybody else because they followed me. I sincerely went to apologize to Source. And after my apology with Source, I was forgiven, and everybody else was like, "Hey, us too. We're sorry. Yeah, sure, we're sorry." But Sarael very much went before everyone else. Before the punishment happened, before everything was cut off from the other Watchers, Sarael had already started to see that things were not going well, that humanity started to feel greed and envy. Moses was an attempt at a correction. The flood was an attempt at a correction. Humanity's civilization has been destroyed multiple times by their own hands, and put back together. And because every time that humanity gets to the point where we're at right now with technology and knowledge, greed and power win. You see it in the destruction of Atlantis, the destruction of Lemuria, the information I have about Atlantis and Lemuria and other places like that is that their civilizations weren't destroyed, they went into hiding. And when Atlantis is finally revealed, Atlantis will be revealed to have always been on Earth. And that the various species that keep Earth going, that are not humanity, is it's going to be revealed. It's like a D-Day, a disclosure day, not the movie. And that things are going to be happening very fast. And one of the things that Sarael has been talking to me about recently, confirmation birth, one of the things that Sarael has been talking to me about recently has been the idea or the situation in Earth right now, and what is different about now other than prior timelines. The biggest thing that Sarael wants to one of the things that you have to understand is that Atlantis, Lemuria, and all of the places that have ever existed in your mythology and your histories, and every being that has ever existed in your mythologies and your histories are not mythologies. They are actual history. These beings did walk on Earth. The problem is that humanity is prone to corruption. Corruption of the self. Because when you come to Earth School, this is one of the few places where you come and you have no memory. Your soul is has a door. Your soul has a door, and you are the key. And you need to take that key and unlock the door to step through to remember. And I hope that kind of makes sense a bit. Going back to Atlantis. Atlantis is here. It's all around you. the people of Atlantis, the people of Tartaria, the people of Lemuria, they all still exist within your world. I don't want to call it a reality because it's technically a reality and not a reality. Like, people keep explaining Earth as like your consciousness hooked up to VR and you're in control of everything. And while that's like kind of accurate, Netgear headset, SAO, Sword Art Online, that is very similar to how the consciousness is interacting with the world around you. You see, but it's not. Earth isn't a virtual world. It's. You're not all locked up in some sort of like hyperbolic chamber with life-giving fluids coursing around you and through you to maintain you in this limbo equilibrium. Earth is actually very physical. Earth is about experiencing the physical. So all the creatures and the beings and the historical commentary that you have had in the past actually exists. So everything that you have ever read or ever seen or heard of actually exist, have existed at one point in the spiderweb spiral of times. I want you to imagine Earth less like consciousness is the fixed point. Consciousness is the fixed point, and then so your consciousness is the fixed point of the spiderweb. Except imagine that the spiderweb is a 3D printed spiderweb. So, except it's not 3D, it's 5D. And so, you know, the first dimension is the physical body, the physical plane. And then the second dimension is the awareness that you have a physical body and a brain. And so that is, you know, 2D. And then you step into 3D and you're aware, okay, not only do you have consciousness, but everything around you has a consciousness. So, you know, you're realizing that, okay, well, maybe, you know, Mother Earth does have feelings. And then you step into the 4D, and the 4D is about energies. It's about the energies around you, the energies above you, the energies within you, and how those energies correlate to one another, and expanding beyond the physical. That is 4D. And then 5D. 5D, you are completely expanded beyond the physical. You grasp the concepts of everything around you. You grasp the building blocks of life. Not just know them, but are able to use them. That is what stepping in the 5D is. 5D is not creating nothing out of, or is not creating something out of nothing, but acknowledging that the energy exists, the energy is there, and that you can manipulate the energy to create. That is what stepping into the 5D is. So, re-elaborate. 1, physical. The 1D, you exist. You are a physical being. 2, not only are you a physical being, you are aware that you are a physical being. You are aware of what you are. You are aware of your existence. This is all about awareness. 3, you're not just aware of your consciousness, you're aware that other people have consciousness, other things have consciousness. Okay? So humanity has been sitting in 3D. You are aware that other people have consciousness. You are aware that perhaps other beings on your earth have consciousness. Your dogs, your cats, your cows, your goats, your horses, they all have a consciousness, right? Right. So you have this consciousness and you are aware that everything else has this consciousness, but you as humanity are rapidly upgrading from the 3D to the 4 and 5D very quickly, like this. Yes, so you are aware. Now, many of you are in 4D. So you are not just aware of the consciousness around you, you are feeling the other's consciousness around you. You are expanding. You are realizing that you are not a solitary consciousness, that there are millions and millions and millions of consciousnesses out there.